Honestly, I don't even know how to start this video. I mean, how do you start a video to talk about one of the biggest moments in wrestling history?
Are you sure about that?
You may say that sounds like a hyperbole, but I don't think it is. I mean, John Cena's shocking turn at the Elimination Chamber will go down as one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. It'll be one of those moments that's shown in video packages for years to come. I can't believe they did it. I really can't. I even made like a YouTube short, like joking around, like, haha, what if the John Cena took The Rock's offer? But like, I didn't actually think that was a possibility. I mean, I thought it would be a cool possibility, but I don't know. I was like, John's on his retirement tour. We're going to get the greatest hits. We might get him and Cody, and it'll be like passing of the torch type of match. Maybe we'll see John have a little bit of an edge. I did not expect what happened last night to go down, and especially not in the way that it went down. We saw John Cena win the Elimination Chamber, and we'll get into that in just a minute. And then we saw Cody come down and go face to face with his WrestleMania opponent. But it didn't take long for the final boss and Travis Scott, for some reason, to make their way to the ring to see what Cody's answer to The Rock's offer would be. But as we all speculated, if Cody didn't take it, then someone else would. And to the shock and dismay of everyone watching, John Cena accepted The Rock's offer, sold his soul to the final boss, and laid Cody out in the middle of the ring. I have to give it to John Cena. He knocked this out of the park. His facial expressions, his body language, I don't know, it was just awesome. And honestly, I know The Rock gets a lot of criticism, a lot of it valid, but he did a really good job in this segment too. Also, Travis Scott like absolutely stiffed Cody with a slap. It was kind of crazy to see. Honestly, this was one of the riskiest moves WWE's taken in a long time, and even just after that one segment, it's already paid off. I mean, in story, it kind of makes sense why John Cena would take The Rock's offer. John has lost big match after big match the last couple of years. Like he said, he hasn't won a singles match in years. And after seeing his face when Jey Uso pushed him out of the Royal Rumble, it seemed like John was having kind of this crisis. And knowing what we know now, some of the signs were right there the whole time in front of our face. I mean, at the post-Royal Rumble press conference, John kind of had like that stoic, kind of serious look on his face when he inserted himself into the Elimination Chamber. John Cena just inserting himself in the match because it was best for business was very un-John Cena-like. I think we thought the rationale was, well, John's got to go finish a movie, so that's one way to do it. And I think part of that is true, but knowing what we know now and what was to come, it was kind of a precursor to the heel turn. And then in the Elimination Chamber itself, we saw Seth Rollins stomp out CM Punk, and John Cena took advantage of that. We've seen in the past when Cena's opponents have been down and out due to outside interference, Cena doesn't capitalize on that. I mean, hell, speaking of CM Punk, go back to Money in the Bank 2011, and when Vince tries to come out and ring the bell, John Cena lets go of the STFU and tells him, no, not this way, and ended up costing him the match. But instead, this time John Cena capitalized on the outside interference, screaming, I'm sorry, as he put CM Punk into the STFU and choked him out for the win. Knowing what was to come, it makes total sense. John Cena had to win the Elimination Chamber. And one of the biggest things we didn't even notice was the Elimination Chamber poster was changed to feature John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott. A move that seemed like WWE just putting 3 recognizable celebrities on it makes so much more sense now, as those 3 were the ones that closed out the show. I don't know if this was the plan the whole time or if The Rock just decided to get involved, but it seemed like they were leaving us some breadcrumbs here and there throughout the last couple months. This was the equivalent to Hogan dropping the leg at Bash in the Beach, or Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon shaking hands at the end of WrestleMania 17. Dare I say, this felt even bigger. And honestly, it kind of makes sense why they can do it now. The reason why John could never turn heel is there was never that top guy in that true #1 spot that could fill John Cena's shoes. Even when they had big stars like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, no one really fit that white meat babyface John Cena role until Cody Rhodes came back. Cody is now filling that John Cena role, the guy that can do all the PR, that can do Make-A-Wish, that can go on talk shows. Cody is carrying that torch, which means if Cody's being John Cena doesn't need to be John Cena. Instead, he can be whatever he turned into last night now that there's a #1 guy carrying the company. I'll admit, I was one of those people that felt like the build to WrestleMania 41 was kind of lacking. And I think it's hard to live up to the build for WrestleMania 40 last year. I mean, so many things went into it. That main event felt like the season finale of wrestling with all the people that got involved. So it made sense that maybe the build felt a little lackluster. I mean, The Rock turning heel and getting involved, that was fresh and new. We knew Roman's title reign was maybe coming to an end. Maybe Cody could finish the story. So it made sense that maybe this year felt like a little underwhelming. And Triple H did say this weekend would be an industry-changing weekend, and he was right. I think it's suffice to say that the hype for WrestleMania 41 is definitely a go. I'm just as hyped as I was last year. This is exactly what it needed, especially because some of the things that have been announced I haven't been like super stoked for, but I'm excited to see how the card shapes up, especially with Cody Rhodes and a heel John Cena main eventing the whole thing. Could we see John Cena break Ric Flair's record, winning a 17th world title as a heel with the help from The Rock? If Cena remained a heel and was the champion post-WrestleMania, there are so many things you could do. Even matchups he's had in the past now has a fresh coat of paint because he was always the good guy. I mean, they could do Randy Orton and John Cena, which we've seen a million times, but not this way. We've always seen Randy as the heel and John Cena as the face. I would love to see John go against some of the big baby faces they have now. I mean, can you imagine heel John Cena versus a Sami Zayn versus a Rey Mysterio versus a CM Punk? I think they have to do that. They have to do Punk and Cena this time around, especially after what we saw in the Elimination Chamber between Punk and Cena. I mean, these guys have been destined to do this forever, and they're destined to do it at least one more time. Can you imagine at one of the pay-per-views this summer, I mean, maybe even SummerSlam, a heel John Cena with the belt and CM Punk of all people trying to get that away from him? I know, it's crazy. I can't believe we're saying that, but it actually is a possibility this time. Over the summer, could we see Cody get back to the #1 contendership and maybe at SummerSlam take the belt back from John Cena? There is so much they can do right now. It is so exciting to be a wrestling fan right now. I've seen a lot of people joking on Twitter recently about, hey, don't complain about wrestling. You didn't live through the dark ages. And while I think that's funny, and also I find it kind of annoying to see people gatekeep and stuff like that, I do get where people were coming from. I mean, I remember buying John Cena versus R-Truth at Capital Punishment on pay-per-view. Oh my god, I'm sorry mom and dad that I made you buy that. Although there was a sick CM Punk and Rey Mysterio match on that card. Go back and watch it. But all jokes aside, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Whether you watch WWE, AEW, or any other promotion, wrestling is in a really cool period right now. And that's what's inspired me to get on here and talk about wrestling. I've loved wrestling for so long. I have so many thoughts about it. I love seeing people online share their thoughts, share their takes. I wanted to just throw my hat in the mix as well. All in all, I am so excited for WrestleMania this year. Like I said, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Not everything's perfect, but there is a lot of cool things going on right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around and listening to me ramble about wrestling. As you can tell, I love it so much. If you enjoyed what you saw, give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm a small channel. All of that seriously helps so much. I appreciate you. Enjoy watching wrestling, and I'll talk to you here soon.